Hello world, episode 104 of Three Things with Ian. It is April 14th. The sun is shining. I just got back from the gardens and excuse the hair. It's been a day. Got three great topics, two really fun. I got a fun intro and a fun outro. So let's dive in. My little fun fact. For the first time in NHL history, right? A storied and fabled league. The four U.S.-based original six teams, Rangers, Bruins, Blackhawks, and Red Wings, all will miss the playoffs this year for the first time. Pretty little fun fact. So, bad year for my Bruins, bad year for my Red Wings. The original teams did not fare well. So, maybe next year. Anyway, topic number one, let's talk about space? Question mark? The question mark will make more sense after. So, pop star Katy Perry, who I guess is still a pop star, and five other women are set. They did blast off. They're back safely. Spoiler alert. They were set to blast off into space, question mark, today aboard Jeff Bezos' very phallic-looking space tourism rocket. The singer, Katy Perry, will be joined by Bezos' fiancée, Lauren Sanchez, and CBS presenter Gayle King. This is a star-studded rocket launch. The New Shepard rocket, named after Alan Shepard, one of the space pioneers. It is an 11-minute flight, okay? It is just as short as all the flights that you guys are complaining that Taylor Swift takes on her private jet. 11-minute flight will take the crew more than 100 kilometers, 62 miles above Earth, just crossing the internet, just barely going above the internationally recognized boundary of space, and giving the crew a few moments of weightlessness, the vomit comet. The spacecraft is fully autonomous. It requires no pilots. There are two extra bodies on board, two humans in case things go south. The crew will not operate the vehicle, right? They do a 2-day crash course where I guess they learn how to, when things go wrong, how to stay calm, because there's not much they can do once they're up. The capsule returned to Earth, parachute-assisted soft landing, which is kind of cool because the rocket booster will land itself around 2 miles away from the launch site. What makes this an interesting story beyond the fact that we're talking about space tourism and just space in general is that Blue Origin says the last all-female space flight was over 60 years ago when Soviet cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova became the first woman to travel in space upon her Vostok 6. So anyway, say what you want about Jeff Bezos. I would have had very different opinions a couple years ago. Blue Origin is a private space company. It's very different than SpaceX. This is much more tourism-based. This is a safer, more predictable launch. They're just touching space. It's not the space we think of, the void, the darkness, the vacuum. This is like really just high Earth orbit. The controversy, though, not only this is Jeff Bezos' thing and his fiancée is aboard, we don't know how much it costs, but we know that tickets are at least $150,000. That's the deposit to reserve a seat. Suborbital tourism business is kind of booming, not really booming. I mean, I'm sure there's a wait list, but there's only one rocket that does this. It is reusable. They're using a lunar landing system that's been time tested and I guess mother approved. I don't know. It seems kind of silly. I mean, are these astronauts? Are they going into space? That's where the question mark comes into. I am pro space exploration. I don't know if I'm pro space tourism. It's a little too exclusive, a little too environmentally damaging for me. I'm all about innovation, and I'm for private companies helping us with that innovation and making space more accessible. I don't see Blue Origins and Jeff Bezos really moving much in that direction. Obviously, the critics say that our civilization needs to explore and go beyond Earth's orbit, but that the rocket exhaust contains a plethora of gases and particles that can affect Earth's climate and ozone layer. So, I'm not sure. Interestingly enough, under the Protecting Our Planet tab, Blue Origins claims the only byproduct of New Shepard's engine combustion is water vapor with no carbon emissions. Not sure if that's been tested and approved, but that's what they're saying. So I don't know how you feel about this. It's a star-studded crew. They are going into, I guess, space technically. I'm kind of jealous. I would be nervous and a wreck beyond. I would be catatonic, but it must feel pretty cool. and be quite the experience. And in terms of safety, this is just about as safe as you can get in terms of touching space. So more to come on that. Blue Origins, they touched down safely. Katy Perry apparently sang a song about an alien in space. She has a weird fascination with that. Anyway, topic number 2. I have no interest in golf. I think it's silly, but I will say that golf, the individual pursuit of the golfer and the golf ball and the caddy, it's a master class in resilience and patience and performance under pressure, which are things that I'm kind of fascinated about. There's probably no other sport where there are individual sports, right? Swimming, you're in your own lane, you're doing your own bit. But the Masters is over, like, I think it's 3 or 4 days. You're playing 18 holes numerous times. It's long, it's arduous. There's so much pressure on once it gets close, every putt, every drive, it seems to be just coated in pressure. And Rory McIlroy won the Masters, 18 years and counting, countless setbacks. It was 2 decades for him of close calls, media pressure, public doubt, personal growth, and relentless pursuit of one goal, completing the Grand Slam. So, like I said, I don't care about golf, but I'm fascinated by how human beings stay focused when the world counts you out. How do you bounce back after failing and failing and failing on the biggest stage? Because this matters to people, right? Rory McIlroy can beat the pants off almost every human being on the planet in terms of golf, right? But so he has nothing to prove to anybody, but yet these titles, these world-class, like Grand Slam type events where it's just like prestigious, it matters to have that on your resume. So the answer to how you bounce back after falling short is you keep showing up, guys. You evolve, you do the work, even when the results don't come every time. That's what high performance looks like. I am a slow, long-distance runner. I will never probably win a race of any note, but I keep showing up. I keep showing up for myself to show others that they can do this thing, right? High performance doesn't always mean winning. It's not just raw talent. It's a lot of mental resilience. You got to keep going when it's easy to stop, right? Rory McIlroy could have said, the Masters, I don't have it on my resume. I never won it, but I don't need to, right? Which would have been fine. That's a fine statement. But inside, he wanted to complete that. He wanted to notch that title in his whatever he's notching titles into. His win reminds us about several things that I think are important. There's 3 lessons that I want you to think about. Progress is not always linear. I'm training for a half marathon, and about a month and a half ago, I had 3 or 4 terrible runs in a row. Terrible. I was way underperforming. Couldn't quite figure it out. There's a lot of variables, a lot of factors. Instead of dwelling on those mistakes, those inadequacies, I just kept going. Pressure reveals character. Be a finisher. I always talk about this. There's so many people in life that start things, but they don't finish them. They write the rough draft, but they don't go back to the revisions, right? They're afraid to ask for peer review. They're afraid to have this thing that their baby under scrutiny. But that's where you get that dimensionality, that depth. The biggest wins come often after the longest waits. You're laying the groundwork. Every poor run I ran was still 6 miles on the odometer. It was still 6 miles on the brain. It was time under pressure. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, especially when when you are often losing and not winning. Stay the course. Your Masters moment might be closer than you think. Okay, my topic number 3, which I need to open up my other notepad to look at. Sorry, it's been quite the day. Oh my goodness. Pop-Tart flavors. Yeah, Pop-Tart flavors. Let's go there. Best 5 Pop-Tart flavors. 5, raspberry. 4, wild, ! Berry. 3, brown sugar cinnamon. Yes, I went there. Not a fruit. I mean, there's no fruit in these. 2, frosted strawberry. And frosted blueberry. Nothing comes close to a frosted blueberry. Oh, I can taste it now. I'm very hungry, by the way. Also, there's no place for the unfrosted crap. No one eats Pop-Tarts for the health. Get the frosting. The unfrosted ones are just god-awful. Anyway, I talked about resilience. I talked about Pop-Tarts. I talked about space. We're going to end with a funny little thing that I found on the internet that I want to share with you guys. Here are 4 fruits that don't live up to their names. Passion fruit, grapefruit, honeydew, dragon fruit. Fruits that live up to their name. Oranges. And that is it today, folks. You heard it first. I will see you guys tomorrow. Be well, be good, be yourselves. Goodbye.